Hi, fellow prophecy researchers and biblical tribulation searchers. I'm not really sure what to call you. Christians? I don't know. Not a lot of you possibly are Christians, everyone can just be interested in about what's going on. However, I'm not going to take too long to express my views on this topic. Basically, the topic I will be looking at today, and this is my first topic, is my first video on YouTube, regarding the subject of biblical prophecy. The first thing I will be studying will be whether it is fact, but in my opinion it's fact, the fact that it is not going to be a pre-tribulational rapture, it will be a pre-wrath rapture. Now, the reason why I believe this is, I've actually lost my Bible pages. I will find them. The reason why I believe this is because I have read the Bible I've always been interested in biblical prophecy as a small child. I've looked at the news and had correlations and thought of correlations and been shown correlations between what is happening in the world, what will happen in the world, and I've had dreams, but I will not explain those. Basically, I'm going to go through a few Bible verses, one from the Old Testament, funnily enough, and the other 4 will be from the New Testament, and only 2 verses of that will be from Revelation, so it's quite interesting to see the correlation and the thoughts from the other books in the Bible. So I don't particularly just read Revelation, although I have studied it quite a lot since I was a child. I don't know if any of you remember the old films like The Thief in the Night. My parents showed me that when I was very young, so that kind of, I guess, pushed me into the idea of trying to understand it. It never really scared me. I have always just generally had an interest. So I'm just going to quickly go through these verses now. I've got a night shift tonight, so I'm not going to be too fast or explanatory in what I believe. I'm just going to express what I think could happen. Basically, I'm going to start from the Old Testament, and this is Joel 2 verse 31, and what Joel says in chapter 2 verse 31, the sun shall be turned to darkness and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord come. Okay, so that's from the Old Testament. The first one I'm going to read from the New Testament is Acts 2 verse 20. The sun shall be turned into the great darkness and the moon to blood before that great and notable day of the Lord come. These are only single verses, okay? You can continue to read down. They pretty much all say the same thing following them. Matthew 24 verse 29 to 30. I've added 30 because I did originally look at it and it was very hard to understand whether it was actually a pre-wrath rapture, because without reading verse 30 it actually makes absolutely no sense, other than the correlation between the other verses I have read. So, Matthew 24 verse 29 to 30. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened and the moon not give her light, and the stars fall from heaven, and the powers of heaven be shaken. And 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in the heaven, and then shall all tribes of the earth mourn and see the Son of Man coming in the clouds with power and great glory. Okay, so now I'm going to go completely over to Revelation 1 verse 7. Now this is the very first chapter in Revelation. This has absolutely no correlation to the sun being black and the moon being blood, but it's quite interesting to understand when the sun will come, and that will be when he will be on clouds. So that's quite interesting. So Revelation 1 verse 7. Behold, he cometh with clouds, every eye shall see him, and also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. Even so, amen. Okay, so that basically correlates with Matthew 24 verse 30, because basically it explains there that all shall the tribes of the earth mourn, and basically they say the kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him. And then we're going to go back to Revelation 6:12. This is the last correlating verse, which is speaking about the sixth seal. And I beheld, when he had opened the sixth seal, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth as hair, and the moon became as blood, and the stars fell unto heaven, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it was rolled together. Every mountain and island were moved out of their places, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in dens and the rocks of the mountains. So basically that kind of correlates with the kindreds of the earth. That pretty much sums up everyone, free and bond, from mighty men, chief captains, rich men, poor men, pretty much everyone on earth. That includes women, just because it says men. And they will wail because of him. So that is when there is no other point in the Bible that says the sun will be black and the moon will be of blood. The only time that will happen from every single verse that I have read is when Jesus will return. And the only proof that I can say that Jesus will return when the sun is darkened, or the sun is darkened and the moon is of blood, is pretty much when he'll be coming in the clouds and will take up all his believers, everyone that's died in faith, or what have you, to be with him before the wrath. I would like anyone that has any kind of other views to give it a go. I do apologise for my umming and erring throughout the video, because I have never done all this before, and it is quite daunting because I don't want to misconstrue anything. So if you have any questions, go for it.